This is the most valuable video I have made yet, and I will make sure I do not leave out anything. This video might be the turning point when everything changed. The point when you can look back a few years, when you have made incredible progress and say, that's when I fixed my life to actually make this your turning point. You actually need to do one thing, focus all your attention right now. Let's get started. I know most people watching this won't do it, but trust me, you will not regret it. There are a few steps that will transform you from a regular teenager who procrastinates to a disciplined guy who you desire to be. These steps have the power to turn everything around you, from only watching TikTok and playing video games to a successful student, a businessman, or a successful sportsman. It might be hard to believe that one single video can change your life, but stick around long enough and I will prove it to you. Now, the first step is to develop productive habits. Habits that become so obvious to us, like a second nature embedded in our DNA. So what habits do we start doing and how do we develop them? There is actually a method which works like a cheat code to help our brains to rewire and develop productive habits. But first, let's go through what habits we should develop. These can be divided into two: instant gratification habits and delayed gratification habits. Instant gratification habits are activities that reward us instantly. In doing them but slowly, over time makes our life worse. Spending tons of time on social media, for example. It might be fun because of the funny videos you are watching, but in the long run, it shortens our attention span and makes it harder for us to focus on what's important. Delayed gratification, on the other hand, are the activities that feel a little bit hard while we are doing them, but in the long run, they improve our lives. For example, reading a book may feel a little bit tiresome compared to watching Netflix, but in the long run it makes us more knowledgeable, and we are more likely to make smarter decisions in the future. The secret here is to adopt more delayed gratification habits and do away with instant gratification. I have sat down and thought hard, and I came up with the 3 most crucial delayed gratification habits, which are exercise, meditation, and putting in the work. As I promised, I will now share the secret cheat code to how we can make these 3 as natural to us as brushing our teeth. First, start doing them daily. Second, make them easy to do. Start slow, but steady. You can start by doing a few push-ups a day for a short time, then go on increasing. The cheat code is that it only takes 21 days for our brains to get used to a new behavior. But it's not about the time we spend on the rabbit, but rather to make them as easy as possible in the beginning, to stick with them long enough until the 21 days, and after that time they become easy to do. The second factor that makes a huge difference in our lives is our influences, like the really powerful quote that you have probably heard of, that we are the average of the top 5 people that we spend our time with in our day-to-day lives, because we spend too much time watching YouTube videos and following others. The updated version of this quote is we are the average of the top 5 people that we consume the most content from, just as our friends and family influence our thoughts and mindsets about what's wrong and right. The content we consume does the same thing. So start consuming content of people who influence you in a positive way. For example, reading books and watching YouTube videos of people who share their stories of how they improved, because this will influence us to believe that what we are trying to do is possible and it can be done. There is one thing that people don't pay attention to when making better grades or trying to make more money, and that thing is the third factor in fixing our life, and that is our mental health, which is the most ignored part of changing our lives because people think it is unnecessary and boring, which is why they do not improve. They forget about this crucial part. If we feel bad about our mental health problems, then we won't perform as good as we would do if we were enjoying it. And how do we become happier? There is a really simple exercise that we can do in the mornings that only takes about 2 minutes to do. That has been scientifically proven to make us happier individuals. And that thing is gratitude journaling. Sit down for a moment with a pen and a paper and write down 1 or 2 things that you are grateful for, however simple it is. The thing is, this may seem absurd or even laughable, although the cool thing about this practice is that if we do it repeatedly over a few days, our brains will automatically come up with more things that we are grateful for even during our day, which will result in improving our mood